What it is when the court kind of digresses and goes off on a little jaunt of his or her own and speculates about something that is not in front of them and how they would rule on that if it were before them. And that is not considered part of the case or part of the holding. So if you were ever to cite that, you would need to explain in part of your cite that this is dicta from the case, that this was not the holding of the case. One of the examples that I always give is, let's suppose there's a case in court and it's about whether a child would be held to the same standard as an adult in operating a boat, right? And so while they're trying to discuss while the court is answering what kind of standard the child is held to riding a boat, the court might say, we would hold the same thing if you were driving a car. That part about the car is obit or dictum, or we usually just call it dicta or dictum for short. We don't mention this part. That's the official word. It's important to be able to, when you read a case, understand that sometimes the courts throw in some dicta, and they might be helpful. I mean, if I was going to have a case in which I was going to argue that a child had the same standard as an adult, I'd have, first of all, a case that's analogous, that's about a boat. And second of all, I would also mention, but I'd make sure that I said it was dicta because I don't want to be misrepresenting anything, that the court has hinted that in fact it thinks the same rule applies to the car.